Well, today I replaced a couple limestone threads, stone threads, and I painted them with mud just to kind of disguise it. But it's a patch job, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So I got to take this one off because it's cracked. I got to take this one off because it's cracked. Let's take a little closer look at them. So I'm looking at the one that's cracked, and I already, this one's loose. You can see behind here, in Pennsylvania they use mortar or lime sometimes, and it doesn't hold up, falls apart, but nobody wants to hear that. So I'm going to pull these off first. So this one got to come off first. Get this off here. Get that one loose. And this one loose. Everything's gonna move. Lift it up. Take it to you. Take it to you. Some stuff down it. Okay, take it to you. All right, we got to get some of this off here. If it comes off. There we go. So all this fell apart. All these steps are falling apart. It's not worth, unless you want to redo the whole thing, it's not worth it for the customer to be throwing money at it. So we're just going to do what we got to do. Just cleaning it up. All these steps are loose, all the way down to the footer. And one of the reasons is they use lime mortar in it, which I could talk about that for 100 years. And it doesn't hold up in Pennsylvania. So, at least in this section I am. So we're going to clean this all off, real simple like. And then we're going to mix the cement and put the stones back. Okay, I'll tell you what. Hold on. Alright, I got holes in here. And I got to fill them up. What am I going to fill them up with? Am I going to fill them up with the old stone like this? See? Get it in there. It's better than any other kind of fill. And I'm just going to fill it up like that. And then cement it all together. Push. 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 Alright. Good. Now we're going to mix the cement. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm just going to use regular repair mortar. It says mortar, but it acts like concrete. And it dries real fast, and that's what I'm after. And I'm going to dye it. I'm going to use this Quikrete Cement Colors charcoal. I'm going to add it into the water like this, because I usually mix it with dark mortar. I don't have any. So, oops, see? I'm going to put this in here first. Now I'm going to add that black water. That's going to help stain that a little bit. Now this mortar has the sand in it. You don't have to add sand. Sometimes for fill you could. Very little though. I'm mixing it up. It looks a little darker already. So I think that's good for what I want it for. It dries fast. I get about 30 minutes out of this. It's cold out today. Just getting some water. Washing this off to make it stick over here. That stone actually is going to hold that all together. I ain't worried about that. And I got to fill this in over here like that. gooey. This stuff's gooey. Don't matter though. You just need very little of it. That. I'll ground this down, but I want to get into that. Okay, I'm ready to get this all in this very, very thin. Like I said, very thin. Just so it sticks. The only thing I'm going to do with this stone is to get the dust off the bottom and wet it. Go ahead, get it up. Get it up. Go back. Okay, smooth to me. Okay, push it back. Like, tilt it up. Okay, let me look at it. All right, same thing. It's level, and then we got a rubber hammer, and you seat it. Okay, okay, got it in. Okay, that's it. Good.
Uncle Michael, come on, have to wear this stupid shirt.
Because I need advertisement, and for every time I get a shirt sold, you're going to get 25 cents worth to your college education, okay?
Okay, good deal.
Now I'm going to talk about this fast drying repair mortar. See, it's stiffened up a little bit. I had to take the nephew home. I'm going to talk about it a little bit because what we're going to do is fill in behind here now. So I'm going to fill in behind here. I'm going to put something just to keep that from dirtying the brick up. And push it down like that, see? I'm not worried about the stone because I can sponge that off. Then I don't dirty the brick. Like that, see? So I'm going to continue like that. Well, we got it all in there. I'm going to let it set because the limestone sucks the water out of that. And then we just get our sponge and go over it. Don't dirty the brick. Yeah, just like that. Limestone is porous. It sucks the water in like a sponge. So, you gotta just kind of time it right. Now that's awful bright up there. So all I do is get some mud from my dad's garden. And I go up here and I start painting over everything. And that's going to stain that to make that look like the rest of the building, like we weren't even here. See that? That's called the mud trick. We're dirtying this all up. That's going to disguise that, make that look old. So it don't help 100%, but it helps a lot. And let that sit. The rain will wash it off, or they could hose it off, but I like to let it sit in there for a day or so, let it soak in there. So I'm going to explain that job a little bit. That job was probably built back in the 30s, maybe 40s, and they used old cinder block. And what happens with the block and with the limestone is it absorbs water, and the limestone gets brittle, like this, and all this cinder blocks, they absorb water, it freezes in the winter, and it falls apart. And that was on the shady side of the house, and they throw salt on it, and the whole thing's falling apart. If it was any worse with that than it was, I would have told the people, rip them out and put wooden steps in and be done with it. But it was a lot cheaper just to repair a couple of threads. So this is the old cinder block they used, and they don't make them anymore. Another thing is, I'll just show you, but I filled about that half up with water, and I used half of this, and I used a repair mortar like this, and it contains the sand, and it works good. It's a little better mortar. I think that's a lie. I use it like concrete, but if I wanted it to be stronger, I could throw some Portland in it. But this is very sufficient. I just started using that about 4 or 5 years ago, and it works fine. So I hope you understand about these steps and what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.